I'm Colonel Claus Petersen. I'm from Denmark. I'm a technical advisor to the East African Standby Force. I'm part of the Nordic Advisory and Coordination Staff. That means the 4 Nordic countries are supporting EASF, and we are embedded in EASF staff. We are here to help EASF execute the activities they plan. So you can say we are partners, or in some instances we're also donors because we fund activities that EASF decides that they want to execute.
So I come from the Nordic Advisory and Coordination Staff, which is a Nordic support element to East African Standby Force. And our main task is to support the EASF functions within training, logistics, and staff management. And the last one is maritime. So for 10 years we have now been in advisor positions here in EASF.
My name is Lieutenant Colonel Turner. I've been the UK Technical Advisor to the EASF for 21 months now. So as a technical advisor, my focus is to provide advice and guidance drawing on my own military experience in the conduct of operational effect.
I would like to start in 2017 with the exercise in Sudan. I think that was a milestone for Eastern African Standby Force. And in early 2018, we had an after-action review of the exercise where we had a look at what can we learn from that exercise. And I think that was an extremely valuable process. And the rest of 2018 was actually focused on our part on how can we develop EASF capability further with regard to what we learned. And I would like to emphasize one workshop we did was to develop an EASF mandating process, because that's important, because what we realized at EASF at the exercise was that EASF perhaps needs still some procedures to do operational planning for deployment. So I think that was an achievement that we started this process, and I think we will continue that process into 2019. I know the activity plan is not yet endorsed by the policy organs meeting, but I know in the draft program there is a series of exercises and training opportunities that will lead up to a second milestone, and that is when EASF is being there on standby for African Union from the 1st of July and the rest of 2019. So I think 2019 will build on the work that we have started in 2018.
As the Finnish focus is on integrated functions, we have been working closely already for some years to integrate the staff to work between police, civilian and military, from being a military-heavy organization. And this year, I would say that the African Integrated Crisis Management courses that we have been running, we have seen an increase of the civilian participation, and also a remarkable increase in the quality of the civilians that take part. And we are really happy to see that the member states, hopefully with the support of EASF days that promote EASF, has really been able to find the right persons to be rostered for civilian tasks, because recruiting civilians to an organization like this is the most difficult. It's easy to work with military, and also easy to work from the police forces because they are structured.
In 2018, I think we've achieved a lot. The things that really stand out are the mandatory courses we've achieved, so foundation courses, operational planning and operational management courses. But the highlight for that has been the identification and use of regional instructors to deliver the effect that we require. The second thing that has been really successful has been our refinement of our operating concept. We now have a draft, but we have a force activation policy. we have a crisis response mechanism planning process, and we have the humanitarian assistance and natural disaster support concept of operations. All of these bode well, particularly when viewed in the context of having operating handbooks at the mission and force level. I think this sets us up nicely for 2019. We have a big focus. On the 1st of July, we are the African Union's lead African standby force, a tremendous responsibility and one that we must ensure that we consolidate what we have learnt in 2018 in order to deliver output and effect in 2019.
My only concern as a technical advisor is to prepare EASF to the best possible in preparation, because what one of the tasks for this headquarters is to prepare itself in case African Union or the policy organs meeting decides that EASF is needed in a crisis situation. So it's all about preparing this headquarter for deployment. And there's a lot of preparatory work you can do in order to make life more easy for you, especially if time becomes a critical factor. A good plan is always the starting point for any operation. So next year will be about planning and will be about procedures and also be about educating the staff into what are their expected roles in case we get a deployment, whether it's a small deployment or bigger deployment. Very fruitful year for us, and now we are in for a Christmas break, and we will hopefully start re-energized in January. So I wish to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all, and I will say it in my mother tongue, Danish. Glædelig jul og godt nytår. Asante sana.
Well, I think that the start of the year, first and second quarter, will be hard work preparing and training for the upcoming second half year, which we will be the standby force for African Union. And I see that we have a lot of training events, and hopefully we have possibility to train the staff in a long row to make the best out of the second year half. Representing the motherland of Father Christmas, I of course look back and wish for snow also here in Kenya. What I can guarantee is to wish you a Merry Christmas and safe travels home to your families. And I hope that you will enjoy to stay together, because that's important to recharge for next year. And as we say in Finland, hyvää joulua, onnellista uutta vuotta. That means that we will also wish you a Merry Christmas and welcome back to work.
In 2019, we have a very demanding challenge in front of us. As of the 1st of July, we assume the role of the lead African standby force on behalf of the African Union, ready to deploy and intervene in response to crisis across the continent. I think this means that we must consolidate the successes of 2018 and deliver more in 2019. The first half of the year will be at a high tempo as we make sure that we are at the peak of our performance capability in order to achieve the required effect, making a difference for the people of the Eastern African region.